Yes, Prabhuji, you can lead.
Okay. So, Pranagopika Mataji, would you like to go ahead?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandas Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, in today's Srila Prabhupada's quote, any nonsense you do, and if you say it is the latest fashion, everyone will do. Could you please explain, Prabhuji?
This is actually, Prabhupada actually quotes in this regard one Charlie Chaplin movie, where Charlie Chaplin actually goes to a party, and somehow that he sits someplace and he rips off his pen from behind. And when he goes, he doesn't realize that his pen is ripped off. He goes to the party and everybody's looking at him like, what is wrong with this person? Just imagine his, back portion is ripped off. The seat part is ripped off. So it looks, if a person is dancing in the party, so then when he sees that everybody is looking at me in this way, so he goes to the bathroom and sees, oh, the back part is ripped off. Now what to do? He's in the party. So he just goes and with confidence just continues to dance, as if, he knows and he's aware of, he makes everyone, that he's fully aware of that his back portion is ripped off, and he continues to dance with the confidence. So then people think, oh, maybe this is actually the fashion, latest fashion. So people actually go and start ripping their back portion of the pen and come and dance in the party. So Prabhupada said, this is the thing. If you have any nonsense to, propagate or say, if you just say this is the latest fashion, people will actually adopt it. They'll accept it.
We have torn pants as well.
Sorry, bro?
We have torn pants, torn jeans, braided.
Yeah. Nowadays, actually, you see that the jeans which are torn and all, they actually cost much more. They're very costly jeans. The more it is torn, the more costly it is. And I don't know, what kind of fashion is this, but people like it. They pay money and buy such clothes.
So, Prabhuji, one should not do that kind of nonsense, right?
Yeah, the whole idea is in Kali Yuga, you'll see people speak a lot of crazy things in the name of spirituality, and people accept it. So the whole idea is, if people have no substance and if still they can be, successful in propagating, we in Krishna consciousness should not be feeling ashamed or worried about, that we have to, be very careful. Like many times they say, oh, we should not be directly telling Krishna consciousness to people. That is just our mental block. That's our own mental block. It's not that people are not receptive, but we don't have confidence. So in Krishna consciousness, we should have confidence, because we are not offering something nonsense, but we are actually offering the real substance to people. So in that context, this quote is actually meaning that people in the material world, they can offer a lot of nonsense and still, be successful. What to speak of, if you're offering something that is really substantial, which has real substance.
Yeah, got it, Prabhuji. Actually, I didn't understand how to that context to our Krishna consciousness. Now got it, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Sudev Sakhi Mataji, would you like to go ahead?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranam Jai Srila Prabhupada. Sudevi Sakhi here. We had a question. We had two questions in Friday evening class, which we couldn't finish discussion, Prabhuji. So I'll ask now one, and then later after others are done, I'll ask other one. So the first one is Prabhu about Vishvarupa and Nityanand Prabhu's position. So we couldn't complete the discussion. Would you be able to tell that? It was from Chaitanya Charitamrita from Adi Lila, 13th chapter, verses 74 to 78.
Yeah, so Mati, in those verses, as you know, we were going through, it was very clear that says Vishwarupa and Nityananda Prabhu, they are actually non-different from each other, and they are the source of Sankarshan. It's not the other way. They are not expansion of Sankarshan. They are the source of Sankarshan. So after Vishwarupa actually took Samadhi, he entered, he merged with the body of Nityananda Prabhu because they are one and same personality. So he continued to live through Nityananda Prabhu.
So Prabhu, both are actually Balram, or both one is how
Yes,
would we understand?
both actually in the same category. They are Balaram, Nityananda Balaram.
So what was that mention about Mahasankarshan, and one was describing about the universal cosmic manifestation, and what was that, Prabhu?
So, whenever the subject matter of Nityananda or Balaram comes, the Sankarshan name comes in because Sankarshan is the immediate expansion of uh, Balaram, and it's many times identified as non-different from Balaram. Because just as Balaram is the brother and servant of Krishna, similarly, Sankarshan is intimately connected with Vasudeva as a servant of Vasudeva. So, therefore, Sankarshan is many times referred as non-different from Balaram.
Yes, Prabhu. In one of the Bhagavatam purports yesterday, which I was reading, there also it was saying that I think it is about description of Krishna and Balram in third chapter of first canto. So there it was mentioned that Vasudeva is Krishna and Sankarshana is Balram. So actually, they come in the Chaturvyuhi forms, right? So how come that directly they mentioned that this, because there are four forms. So how they are pointing only Krishna to Vasudeva and Sankarshan to Balram. How about Aniruddha and Pradyumna? Who are they then?
Aniruddha and Pradyumna are also non-different from the Lord, but this you can actually understand from the pastime of Lord Ramchandra. So in Lord Ramchandra's pastime, Ramchandra and Lakshman, they are like Vasudeva and Sankarshan, or you can say Krishna and Balaram. And then Bharat and Shatrughan, they are the another pair. Shatrughan is eternally serving Bharat. So you can say just like Vasudeva and Sankarshan are there, similarly Bharat and Shatrughan are there. Shatrughan is eternally serving Bharat. And all three, Lakshman, Bharat and Shatrughan, they are eternally serving Lord Ramchandra. So similarly, Vasudeva is the prime source of all the he's actually the in Chaturvyu he's considered the savior Bhagwan. He's the object of service, and all Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Sankarshan, they serve him.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji. Tamila Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, my Dandavat Pranams. Yesterday at your class about Ayurveda, you were talking that Vaishnavas serve to Krishna in 5 ways: to Deity, to Sun, to Agni, to Holy Name, and something else I forgot. Can you please? Srimad Bhagvatam, okay. Can you please elaborate it? Like, what does it mean?
So, how the devotees serve the Supreme Lord through these 5 is through holy name, by chanting the holy name of Krishna attentively in Kirtan and in Japa. Srimad Bhagavatam, by scrutinizingly studying Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of devotees. Agni, by offering, yagya, the homa, or, utilizing the Agni to prepare the foodstuffs for Krishna to be offered to Krishna in the deity form. So that's also worship of Agni in one way. And, worshipping the deity form and worshipping Surya. Surya is by offering water every day to Surya Dev. Okay. As we discussed yesterday, that offering water to Surya is one of the way of worshipping Surya.
Oh, where can I read about this more? Right, about this 5.
the description, short description is there in the 12th canto of Bhagavatam, but elaborate, I don't know where it could be. But this is there in short description in 12th canto of Bhagavatam.
Which canto?
12th canto of Bhagavatam.
Okay.
I can probably find the verses reference and post it.
Okay, and about Agni, we have to make some yagyas.
Now, that is, more or less obsolete. In today's day and age, nobody has time and
Yeah.
energy. So, worship of Agni is in the form of utilizing Agni to cook different variety of foodstuffs to be offered to Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Thank
It is
you.
equivalent to worshiping Agni, and you handle the Agni in a more appropriate way, like which is a part of deity worship.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Shachandan Gaurang Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Prabhu, in Brihad Bhagavatam, we read like even worldly positions are desired by devatas, and they are obtained by mercy of Krishna. And these positions are why devatas are required, desired them is they don't have worldly faults like temporary and all. So what are those?
What the worldly faults? They don't have worldly faults like what?
Worldly faults like temporary and few other. So what are the positions? Is a Krishna Bhakti is the only thing I could think of, but what are the worldly positions that are desired by the devatas?
The desire for enjoyment, the worldly enjoyments in a legitimate way. Say for example, somebody wants to drink liquor, right? So in today's day and age, people just drink liquor. But if the demigods want to drink liquor, they don't desire to drink liquor like the people desire here. They desire to have the intoxicating beverage, which is the result of yajna. Okay. And that generally beverage is called Soma, Somaras. So Somaras is also intoxicating. It makes a person intoxicated. But the major difference between the two intoxications is, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Traividya mam somapa putapapa. So if a person drinks Soma, he becomes free from sins. Putapapa, his sins are destroyed. Whereas you drink the Soma in this world, it's not Soma actually, liquor in this world, you become sinful. It's one of the pillars of sins in Kali Yuga, drinking liquor. So that is the difference. So the demigods do have desires to enjoy the worldly life, but they desire in an appropriate way, to do in legitimate way, the way Krishna has sanctioned it. And the problem with that is, a person may continue to enjoy in a legitimate way, but eventually he develops a desire to enjoy in a illegitimate way. And that's when the demigods get into trouble. Like Indra, going and associating with Ahalya, the wife of Gautam Rishi. And because of that, he had severe consequences. Severe, multiple severe consequences he had. Not only he got the curse from Gautam Rishi, but he had many setbacks on account of that one sin. So therefore, even if one is legitimately desiring to enjoy the worldly pleasures, the problem is sooner or later one will be going astray the path. Therefore, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, one should not come under the control of the regulations in the scriptures. Because if a person comes under the control of the regulation, that I will continue to enjoy in this way, he will go astray the spiritual path. And eventually the person will be degraded. Really.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, Keshwari Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji.
Prabhu, I just wanted to, Sudevi Mataji's question, I just wanted to confirm my understanding. So, Prabhu, first is Vishvarupa Krishna. Krishna expands to Balaram. Vishvarupa and Nityananda Prabhu are Balram themselves, right?
Yes.
And Balaram then expands to Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu expands to the Chaturvyuha, which is...
Balaram expands into the Chaturvyuha. Vasudeva.
Balram expands to Chaturvyuha. That is Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Vasudeva, and Sankarshana. So that Sankarshana is who you were saying that directly serves the Vasudeva expansion in the Chaturvyuha.
Yes.
Who are connected. Okay. So sometimes that's because sometimes we do call Balram Sankarshana also, right? So what is the, I mean, at this I understand, Prabhu, but I was just thinking that what is the significance? What is the real difference between the Chaturvyuha Sankarshana and Balaram itself?
In a way that they play the synonymous role. Just like Balaram is serving Krishna, Sankarshan is always servant of Vasudeva. So therefore, in the role they are identified. And Balaram is therefore called original Sankarshan.
Okay.
Because Sankarshan is playing the role of servant God, right? Savior Bhagavan. Sevak Bhagavan. So Balaram is actually the original Sevak Bhagavan.
Balaram is Sankarshan, yeah. So that's what gets confusing sometimes, Prabhu, because Sankarshan is also there in Chaturvyuha, and Balaram is also sometimes called Sankarshan.
So it's not confusing in a sense because Balaram is the origin of all the Chaturvyuha, including Sankarshan. So therefore, even if you call him original Sankarshan, there's nothing wrong in it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
And he's also known as Sankarshan on the account, as Bhagavatam explains, because he was attracted to the womb of Rohini from the womb of Devaki. Karshan means attracted. So Sankarshan, his name became Sankarshan also because he was attracted from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. So this is, of course, the pastime of the Lord in this world, but originally his name, Mula Sankarshan. The appropriate word which is used in scriptures is Mool Sankarshan. So Balaram is actually Mool Sankarshan.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Prabhuji, in that case, Prabhu, the four Chaturvi forms come from Balaram. Then why Vasudeva is treated as Krishna and Sankarshan only as Balram? All are coming from Balram, right?
In the role, Mataji, that's what I say. In the role, Sankarshan is playing the role of Balaram to Vasudeva.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Shirsha Mataji has a question, and there is one supporting question also from Sachindan Gaurang Prabhuji from the same topic. So, Shirsha Mataji, please go ahead, and then I will.
Okay, Prabhuji, I have the same question like Prabhu. Prabhuji, in the service of to Krishna, we can use fire, you said, right, for cooking. Nowadays, we are using cooking in electric, not on gas, I mean fire kind. How it works? And another continuation question is, we offer lamp lit the lamps in.
That's also Agni worshipping the Lord.
Prabhuji, is the candle also comes into consideration or not? I want these two. Thank you, Prabhu.
Definitely, any form of fire comes in consideration, but the pure form of fire is always lit up from the ghee. In the service of the Lord, the fire that we use, especially in Aarti and all, should be used only in ghee. Ghee or the other substitute which is considered pure is sesame oil.
Sure. What about the electricity to cook?
That's okay, Madhaji. Whatever we have is electric fire.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Tamila Mataji, please go ahead, and then Sudev Sakhi Mataji. think there is one more question from.
Yeah, thank you. We were reading in Srimad Bhagavatam about which kind of people we should preach, and there is three types of people: envy people, then knowledgeable people, and innocent people, right? And we shouldn't preach to envy people because they're kind of not ready for this. Correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And can you please explain how should I understand when I meet a person for the first time? How should I understand? Is it person envy or not? To preach to to preach or not? Like, what is a sign of envious in people who you just meet?
It actually comes by the little experience, but in general, the guideline is if a person is envious, he will, without any sensibility or logic or proper arguments, will try to simply oppose whatever you say. No, because the person has enmity towards God, enmity towards Krishna. He doesn't want to hear anything in glorification of Krishna. So the symptom is everything you speak, he will just simply oppose. Even if it makes sense to the 10 more people who are sitting in the crowd or 100 more people, they make perfect sense to them, but that person will continue to oppose. So that's a sign of envious. So whenever we meet a person and we see that a person has resistance, and not only resistance, sometimes, even when we go for distribution, some people actually curse you. They speak bad words to you. That's a sign of enmity. One should leave them alone. Like I remember whenever we go for LA Rath Yatra, when we reach the beach, when you're taking the turn on the beach, reaching the beach side, there is always one Christian group. And whichever time I attended, I've attended 2 or 3 times Rath Yatra. Every time I remember at that junction, those Christians group, they sit and they curse you. You can distinctly hear on loudspeaker, they say, you all are going to hell. So, that these are sinful, these are envious people, and you don't try to go and give them books or preach to them. Maintain distance from them. Leave them alone.
Okay. And
if we happen to be in the crowd, like, there are 10, 15 people, and one of them is actually envious and, putting forth a question, then we can take advantage of those questions to present the philosophy of Krishna consciousness without expecting that person, but other people will be benefited. That will make sense to them. And without getting agitated, we present that keeping the other people in the focus who are actually innocent.
Okay. And what about people who atheist? They're not kind of angry or something, but they just think, I don't have a soul. They don't even believe in soul. How should we talk to people who doesn't even believe in soul existence?
So whether atheist or theist, the person will again be in the 3 categories that we discussed in the beginning: envious, neutral, or positive. So if the person is atheist, not a problem. That's not really a problem. He should not be envious. If he's not envious, if he's neutral or a little receptive, you can always teach him the philosophy. You can tell them how that we are not this body, we are spirit soul, how the soul does exist. There's so many ways Prabhupada explained, right? So we can use all that logic. And for example, Prabhupada said, intuitive way. I say, this is my hand, this is my head, this is my body. So my body, we don't say I body. So if this body is mine, then who am I? That is soul. So in this way, we can use different logics, but again, the atheistic is not bad. Envious is bad. We should avoid the envious person. Even if a person, sometime, you'll find, believes in God, goes to temple, but as soon as you talk about Krishna, he becomes angry. So avoid such people.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Sudev Sakhi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. In the Gajendra Moksha Lila, Prabhu, the Lord Vishnu in the form of Hari, he had come to rescue Gajendra, right? So, Prabhu, I wanted to understand Hari is sometimes also referred to Kshirodakshayi Vishnu also. So, Hari is also one of the second set of quadruple expansions of them, Aniruddha expansion. So, I wanted to understand like Hari is which Hari in this case?
See, it is one of the Vishnu Tattvas, and Vishnu Tattvas can always have a name. You can interchange the names. There's nothing wrong in that. But in this case, this is Lila avatar. Hari is actually a Lila avatar. He was son of Harini. His mother's name was Harini and father's name was Harimedha. So because he was son of Harini, he was known as Hari. So this is one of the Vishnu forms only. And I don't recollect details among which Vishnu category he comes in, but he's Vishnu, one of the Vishnu forms. And this is the Leela avatar. He appeared for the purpose of pastime, performing pastime. And because he took away the distress of all the people in the universe, therefore he was known as Hari, which is actually what the Hari means.
So this is mentioned in Bhagavatam in which canto, Prabhu? This description of this particular Hari.
It's in the 8th canto.
It can. So, Prabhu, the normal person here, he knows Vishnu, he doesn't know all these forms. So when he worships Vishnu, for example, Dhruva, he worshipped Vishnu, but there are certain form like Prishni Garbha who appeared. So how it happens that which form actually appears? It is based on the devotee, which form he worships, or how it happens, Prabhu, usually.
And actually, Madhji, we don't have to become paralyzed by analyzing too much. One thing we should always remember is, if a person is worshipping Vishnu or Krishna, whichever form he has attachment to, the Lord will appear in that form. So if a person has attachment to Lord Ramachandra, chanting the names of Lord Ramachandra constantly, the Lord will appear in front of him as Lord Ramachandra. And again, we should remember, God is only one. There are no two gods. Whether you say Ramachandra, Krishna, Vishnu, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Hari, they are all nothing but one God. God is one without a second. Okay. From a rasa point of view, a person can differentiate this detailed knowledge is only from rasa point of view. But no matter whether a person has the knowledge of rasa or not, if he is worshipping the form of the Lord, any form of the Lord, whatever form he meditates, the Lord will appear in front of him. That
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Gokul Tarini Mataji. Please go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavats pranams. I'm wondering what kind of lamp is recommended to use to worship Lord Krishna. A priest in a temple once mentioned that it's recommended to use clay. There are like a small clay lamps. It's better to use to worship the Lord. So I'm not sure which is recommended, Prabhu, because some are made in clay, some are like silver, brass.
Doesn't matter.
Lamp that we used to
Whichever you have at home, you can use that. Brass is also okay. Silver is also okay, and clay is also okay.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
So brass is generally made from panchadhatu, pancha or ashtadhatu. So that is generally good. So whether brass or bell metal or even silver is good.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
And gold is of course best if you can afford to.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have a question, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I was hearing the Leela of Soma, like how Soma came into existence, and after hearing that, I had a question like how it was mentioned like how Soma kidnapped his guru's wife, and then how first child came out of that thing. So just wanted to understand more on that, Prabhuji, like how, although Soma, like the first child from that Vamsha, is came uh, out of this activity, but still it is being praised, the Soma Vamsha. Like in one of the lecture I was hearing by Radha Govind Maharaj, that it is mentioned here because there is no wrong in this. It is coming because of Lord's mercy, but Lord's desire. But I just wanted to understand more on this Leela, Prabhuji, how that Somansha came into existence in this situation, but how it is glorified.
So one principle with Prabhupada explains always in this regard is Tejo Varyam Nadoshai. Teja means powerful person. So powerful person, even apparently sometime he does something wrong, there is no dosha in it. And example is given as just like sun. Sun evaporates the water from all the filthy places, like somebody may pass stool on open ground. The sun doesn't mind, extracts the water from there also. Okay. But when the water comes down from the sun in the form of rains, you don't say, oh, this water was taken from the stool. It was taken from the stool of a pig, so it's not good. No, the rain is always pure. And sun doesn't get contaminated or affected by that impurity as well. Similarly, Agni is called, Sarvabhakshi. Sarvabhakshi means he can eat anything. You can put anything in fire. You can put any animal, even a pig in the fire, it will be consumed. But the Agni doesn't become contaminated by that. He still remains Pavaka. Pavaka means purifying. He remains pure and he retains the potency of purifying. So similarly, in the case of great personalities like Soma or Surya, Indra, even though sometimes they do perform some activity, which is not appropriate as per the Vedic injunction, they do not become faulty. Of course, in some cases, they may have reaction of it by the will of the Lord, but the net result is something related to Krishna's pastimes comes out. The net result is because they assume the powers of the Lord, all the devas, they have the powers of the Lord. So their activities, even though sometimes objectionable, are not condemned, not to be criticized. Just like even Brahma desiring to have union with his daughter. When the 6 sons of Marichi, they ridiculed him, they laughed at him, they became implicated by sins. Brahma didn't become implicated, they became implicated by sins. So therefore, Tejo Varyamna Doshaya. You should remember that the great souls, even apparently sometimes they do something wrong, one is not to point fingers or find faults in them. And that is the reason, even though sometimes we see the Soma or even Indra misbehaves, those activities are given in the scriptures for 2 purposes. One, because that's related to the pastimes of the Lord. Second, for humans to learn lessons. So human beings are supposed to learn lessons from it. When Indra was actually, one time it so happened that he was defeated by Indrajit. Indra was very powerful. Ravana was almost defeated by Indra and the devas and almost captured. But Indrajit came and he defeated all the devas. He actually captured Indra. He arrested Indra. Now, the details are given is that Indrajit was known. He had some knowledge of Maya Shakti. He could fight by Maya Shakti. That means he could disappear from one place, appear in another place. And Indra also knows that Maya. He's also great Mayavi. It's not that he doesn't have Maya Shakti. But yet, Indrajit could arrest him and took him to Lanka. So all the demigods were defeated in this way. Ravana was almost captured by the devas, but because Indra was captured, he's the king of the devas. So the war stopped and Ravana and Indrajit went to Lanka. And Brahma had to go to give benediction to Indrajit. He gave him the name that from today your name will be famous as Indrajit because you conquered Indra. But please release Indra and I'll give you some boon. And Indrajit said, then give me the boon that I should become immortal. Brahma said, that's not possible. Ask something else. So then he asked this boon that whenever I go for the battle, if I perform this yajna, particular yajna, worshipping Agni, and then if I go in the battlefield, successfully completing the yajna, nobody should be able to kill me and I should destroy all my enemies. So Brahma said, all right, tathastu. And when Brahma released Indra, he told Indra, you are captured by Indrajit. Though you are powerful, you are not inferior to Indrajit. You are captured by him because you misbehaved with the wife of Gautam Rishi. This is the reaction of that sin that you committed. So sometime, the instances are mentioned in the scriptures just to give us instruction that even if a great personality like Indra has to face consequences, we should not take it lightly. If we are doing some sinful activity, it will bear some consequences.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Actually, I was also having that question in my mind, like why Indra was not cursed after he misbehaved with Gautam Rishi's wife. But yeah, thank you, Prabhuji, for clarifying. Yeah.
He was supposed to have eyes all over the body, right? Actually, Gautam Rishi cursed him that he will, because he's lumped, he's so much attracted to the yoni, to the female organs for union. He will have those organs all over his body. So Indra became so horrified. Just imagine, he has female organs all over his body. He fell at the feet of Gautam Rishi. Please forgive me. This will be unbearable for me. Please do not have me cursed like that. Then Gautam Rishi said, okay, you will have eyes all over the body. So that's how he developed eyes all over the body. Known as Vasraksha. So that's also, nothing but the result of the curse. Huh? But with the same eyes, yeah. So of course, eyes all over the body, a lot of inconvenience. But Indra, when he saw the beautiful form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was actually feeling indebted to Gautam Rishi for giving him thousands of eyes. He was so happy to see the beautiful form of Lord Chaitanya.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Shachandan Gaurang, Prabhuji, please go ahead. So this is the last question, Prabhuji, right?
This may not be related to this, but
yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Prabhuji, like you mentioned, Indrajit does yajna, right?
Yeah.
So I need some clarification. And I read in Ramayana that I read, Ravana also performs one yajna called Lanka yajna. Is it there in the Valmiki Ramayana? So when he does the Lanka yajna, the powerful army comes out of that and defeats. And when he goes to fight with Rama, he started doing that, but somehow he has to get up from the yajna. So that's why, I mean, is it the Valmiki Ramayana?
That was actually Indrajit. Indrajit's case, he actually started performing that yajna, and he was supposed to fight with Lakshman. But Vibhishan told Lakshman that, Indrajit is performing that yajna, and if he does that, nobody will be able to conquer him. You will not be able to kill him in the battlefield. So, instigated by Vibhishan, Angad and the different, monkeys, they went and actually destroyed the yajna of Indrajit. So Indrajit had no option but to go on the battlefield without that yajna. And that was the day when he was killed by Lakshman. So, but I don't remember Ravana performing any such yajna. But yes, Indrajit was performing that yajna. Ravana was also performing, and you are aware? Yeah. I think Govindra is saying that she is aware. I don't recollect, but yeah, she's saying that she's aware that Ravana was actually performing similar yajna, some kind of yajna, but he also failed to.
Okay, yeah, I need to clarify. And I read something. I don't know with South, like translations, I don't know whether they're in sync with Valmiki or Ramayana or not. So just want a clarification. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, could be, because Ramayana is also very vast, and I have not read the entire Ramayana from beginning to end. So it could be.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Very well.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, is not a question. Just want to know, how do you remember all these things, and all anyone ask any question from any Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Brihad Bhagavatam from anywhere, and you quote easily, Prabhuji? How does you do it, Prabhuji?
Yeah, even I don't know how but the one thing is, if you just keep reading the scriptures, you will not remember everything, but whenever it's required, Krishna reminds you. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mata Smritir Jnanam Apohanam. So Smriti is actually the benediction or blessings of Krishna. We don't, I don't remember everything, but when somebody is asking question, Krishna reminds that, okay, you remember reading something like this here. And it's nothing but Krishna's blessing. As Krishna says truly, Mata Smritir Jnanam. It's only by the mercy of Krishna we do recollect.
Jai. So Prabhuji.
Just one suggestion, Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, just one suggestion. If Mataji is also hearing, so if she can also join for 10-15 minutes every day class, it would be good for us if she's hearing.
Govind Priya Mataji.
Govind Priya Mataji, if she's hearing, she can also join 10-15 minutes in a day.
Yeah, she's here only. She is actually in the
I know.
Yes, Prabhuji, that will be good, Prabhuji. Yeah.
She can join a class maybe in the evening or morning whenever she has free time. It would be good for us. We can get a better.
Evening might be difficult for her because she goes to bed early. She sleeps a little early.
No, it's okay. I said morning or evening, whichever.
Morning, probably she's here only, but she was in the kitchen, so.
That's okay. I am saying whenever it is convenient to her.
Yeah,
if
sure.
she can.
Sure.
It would be good for means combined effort will be, we'll have better ideas and knowledge.
Sure, definitely.
Okay, so just
By the
idea.
Mataji used to, yeah.
All of you can insist because if I say.
No, I know. I will call her Mataji.
Thank you.
Okay,
Nice. Okay, Prabhuji. I think it's 8:30, Prabhuji. Shall we stop today or?
We can stop. Thank you.
Yeah.
Vansha
Thank you very much. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo vacha